I don't know what's going on, but the picture is very small. So can somebody please tell me how to make the picture big? I don't know. Why is my picture so small? Do y'all see what I'm talking about? The picture is really small. How to make the picture bigger, you guys? I can't. It's a tiny picture in the middle of the screen instead of a big picture. Can you all tell me why is it so small? Oh, thank you. I hit something by accident. Hey, Mark. You like that? Let's see. You can see that? See, I put my stones in my hat. I was trying to do like something different. So I know that Wisdom and her mom, thank you, Brenda, she said that I didn't get my whole body. So I'm trying to do my whole body because I wanted her to get this look. I'm sorry. Well, you know, I usually come on this later, but I was so tired. I had to fix my thing, child. Check out my blue. Isn't that pretty? Pretty by Blue Rig, by Blue Stout, by Blue Fakers. By Fakers. Okay. Well, I know, like, for my little niece and her mom, she wants me, oh, you like the look? I like it. No, it's a jumper. It's a jumpsuit. So I was just in a Nipsey Blue mood. No. I had to represent my number one Crip. Nip the Crip with the super drip. Peace to the guy. You know what I'm saying? The drip guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me try something different. I don't want to just wear a blue. And Nipsey goes, take your hat and take some stones and put them on your hat. So I hope it don't fall off because I didn't really sew them on too tight because I wanted to see if you liked it. If you liked me, like, bedazzling hat. Oh, you like it, Grin? Okay. Because you know me, I be like, you know, I'm trying to look better. I'm trying to feel better. I'm healing, so I got a lot of the swelling down. Like, if you look back at some of my videos from last year, maybe earlier this year, I was just like, I had still a lot of inflammation problems, and I would go up and down, up and down. And, hey, Tracy. And so, you know, I've been working on my diet and detoxing my body and, you know, taking my meds and stuff, and I hate meds. Never been a sickly person, never had to take them. Oh, wait a minute then. We got a new one, Boss Drip, okay? Hi, Duan. Hi. Okay, so y'all like these looks. Okay. So I'm going to start getting more hats and more jumpers. And then, you know, like Nipsey is so creative, and I'm creative, and you're all creative. So he'll put, and I look, you like that one? Okay, I'm gonna find some more, because I was looking, and he goes, I want you to wear something blue. And I was like, they like the red. And then he kept telling me the past few days, get your oolong. Well, you know, like I said, I was poisoned. I told everybody that earlier, so that by itself wasn't going to do it. I had to do a lot of stronger things and, you know, meds to really pull all that stuff out of my body, as well as change my diet. And I drink a lot of, hi, Melindy, baby. Where have you been? And how's that beautiful baby doing? You know, so it wasn't just that simple. I had been poisoned. So I had to, and my lymphs were really swollen, head, neck, and face, armpits, all over my body. So they made my whole body swell. So oolong tea wasn't just going to do it. No, I had to go real hardcore because it was like killing me and bloating me at the same time. So I'm literally having to thank you, her. Now, can you see it? Kiss my baby for me, Wisdom. Are these good? Because I know you said I wasn't in the camera as good last week to get better shots. Okay, thank you, Janine. Okay, now see, y'all are making worse. Nipsey, I saw, he told me, he's like, get your hat. I said, which stones you want to put? I want those. And I was like, ooh, now that's really pretty. And it looks classy. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to wear the black scarf. I'm going to wear the sick blue. And I'm going to see what they think about the blue scarf. And then when I put it on, I was like, hot damn. That's pretty. So is that good, Hershey? That's good shots. If you want to get some shots, I love it when you, thank you, thank you, Sabrina. You know what? I'm not going to be able to finish this. I just kind of knew it was going there. I'm enjoying this reading so much. Okay, good. Well, then I know you'll be able to get so many pretty shots like you always do. Hey, Gwen. Well, like I said, I had to do a combination of things. One tea, one herb was not going to do it for me. But anyway, I already have those. I have a golden seal. I have stronger herbs. I have golden seal root, things like that. Red clover, yellow dot. I had to go there. I had to go to the really serious ones for lymphatics and the lymphatics, the glands, and all those things, because my body was so toxic. I'm really enjoying the reading with King Von, King Nipsey Hussle, and all the spirits that are surrounding this. And I want to thank everybody. Thank you, Nene. Thank you. Hi, Arrington. Nice. And yes, I had to literally do everything that you mentioned. One thing, I was so messed up. One thing wasn't going to fix it. And so I'm glad I'm seeing my neck and all this stuff is going back down. Body going down. So and if you all like it and you feel like I'm getting it together, because I cannot believe this is my birthday month. So I said this month I'm going to take more time off for me, and I'm going to take care of myself. I wish I could go to a spa, but we still got to be careful with the COVID thing. So I'm just going to have to do like a makeshift sauna here to help just get my body back to 100%. But there are other spirits that have come in here, and you're not going to believe this. King Von's father is here. He has been here for a couple of days, so I wanted to wait because I am still very exhausted, not really sleeping. I've been up, like whenever this comes to me, I like to get right up, even if it's the middle of the night. And yeah, I want to let everybody know, the people that ordered kits from me, I made your stuff, okay? I had enough energy. I was up about 4 or 5 this morning making, these are the herbal baths you boil and use as a floor wash. And you add it to your wash to wash down your walls, the corners, cracks, and crevices of the house. So I have made a lot of stuff last night. So that's a good sign. I'm feeling better enough to make the things to put in the kits for the people that ordered the kits. And the sages. So, I have more sages. And I really love the lover sage because it's an aphrodisiac. And it's a little bit too late to do it. But the next reading I do later in the week, I'm going to go outside and light some and send it up in the air. Okay. But I wanted to come, even though this is not finished, I thought it was very important that I bring it because it was amazing what they were saying. All three of them are quite intelligent. King Von comes to Nipsey Hussle. Asks Nipsey Hussle, take me to Alexyss. Nipsey and King Von, Devon, come in here. And we start talking, and they tell me incredible things. And then, last reading I did, I mentioned his father, and people can give me information if they knew his father and knew how tall the father was, what the father looked like. Because I saw an older woman, another woman came in, and then like a child came in, and then a taller man, taller than King Von. So I didn't know if his father was his height, or if his father's taller than him. If so, how much taller? And I had asked, because this guy was begging King Von for some money. Give me some money, like you owe me some money. And I'm like, was that the father? Did the father get on drugs? Or was he selling drugs? And was he around people that sold drugs? Oh, thank you, Cedric. I'm glad you all like the blue. I'm going to do this more often, you know what I'm saying, with that head and that goddamn skull, you know what I'm saying, that player skull. Put that slickness on it, that sheen on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see if you like the look. But I wonder, was King Von's father a drug dealer? Was he a hustler in the street in Chicago? Thank you for the donations. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, everybody, for love me and support me and give me the donations. It helps me continue to do the work I do and take care of myself and get well and stronger and come back raw as a motherfucker, hitting hard as ever, and being able to do the will of the ancestors and doing the work that the people that come in here want me to do and pass their messages. So thank you very, very much. I know I'm going to have a really good birthday this year. I can't believe it. This year's gone. And Thanksgiving, what? We only got like a week or so before we have Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mia. You like the shiny better? Because I think I got to find a really badass motherfucking red fedora to set this motherfucker off and come out with a goddamn red sand fedora in this bitch. And tell Nipsey to show me which ones he want me to do to set that red off. So I'm going to be looking for that tonight. King Von's father, Nipsey was standing, because you know Nipsey's tall, so it wasn't Nipsey, I can see him very well. He was standing with King Von when we did the last show. And King Von's father got mad at me. Oh, first, let me say, this is a spiritual reading. My name is Alexyss K. Tylor. I am a psychic medium. I speak to the physically dead that are yet still alive. Yes, we're in Sagittarius season. That come, don't cross over and leave here. They're still here. The body physically dies. Physical body stays on this side. They get up. The real them, the high them, the soul them, the mental, emotional, spiritual them. Get up and leave the physical body. So it's still on this side called dead, classified dead tissue, dead flesh. The body of man, 666 body. Carbon body, 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, the number of man, 666. Get up, the real them, go to the other side, but they have a magical ability now. They can move back and forth because they're not dead like we're told they're dead. They can still move around, walk, talk, see, hear, smell, taste, touch, speak. And I do the best I can to interpret their messages. Oh, we got a new moon tonight? Thank you. Thank you. And so I'm hearing this. I'm not a legend. I know the people in person or life. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm doing the best I can to try to interpret their messages, okay? So, a lot of people get upset with me, get mad at things I say, or, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, that's fine with me. Because I'm hearing things the best I can from the other side to interpret it, and I may make mistakes. So, these are alleged, and these are readings for spirit purposes. So, and for entertainment purposes only. Jackie Wilson. Ashe. Nipsey Hussle. Ashe. King Von. Ashe. Ancestors. Eliza. Ashe. Okay. King Von's father got mad at me. And he was like, hold up. Wait a minute. You said on the show, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Come on, daddy. Come on, pop. You said that you wondered, was that me begging my son for money? Asking my son for something like he owes me something? No, that wasn't me. A junkie like approaching my son. Thank you, Sydney. Asking my son for money. My son doesn't owe me anything. I owe him. I said, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I wasn't trying to offend you. I just don't know you. I don't know King Von. I'm just getting introduced to King Von. And I don't know his relatives. I don't know much about you. I don't even know your real name. I look like somebody on a write-up or something said Silky. So I don't know if there was a nickname, Silky, or I don't know his background. I was told he was also a gang member. I don't know under Black Disciples, under King David. I tried to do some investigation. But David Barksdale. It was David Barksdale and Larry Hoover. So I'm not sure if they were together at one point or Larry Hoover broke off. You all correct me because I'm learning my history. These are things I should know. All right. So, I know he was also a black disciple, and correct me if I'm wrong about that as well. I don't mind being corrected. Thank you. I'm glad you all like the blue. And I apologized, and I listened to him. He said, no. Nipsey was standing there, and as Nipsey and King Von have been walking around the past few days, King Von shows him things that's going on in Atlanta, and then Nipsey shows him things that's going on. So they've been Atlanta, LA, New York, all in between, all in the underworld, underground, underwater, dealing with military, just like I'm saying, NASA. Remember I told y'all Nipsey, NASA, Navy, underground. He keeps saying underground, things being trafficked, people, drugs, construction, new cities, underground cities. All this stuff he's been telling me that's been coming up. Also with the military in LA, military around the United States. So they're sharing things with each other. And then as I said the father's name, or mention the father, what I said it for, because he jumps up and says, wait a minute, I don't do that. He said, and when Nipsey and King Von were walking, his father comes up, and that's when he introduces himself. He reintroduces himself, and he said, I'm sorry. He said, you don't owe me anything. I owe you. I owe him. I said, yes, sir. I'm sorry. He said, I didn't want to leave you. I hated that I left you, and I was always worried about you, and I was always afraid that there was going to be retaliation against you, and they were going to watch you, because there are people that's still alive that know me, and that watch you, because they were afraid of you, and that because you, I'm feeling him now, I'm getting so much, you reminded them of me. And he said people were afraid, they were involved in his killing, that he would find out who did it and then retaliate against them or their family members. He said they, allegedly, if I'm hearing this correctly, he said it was people on his side consorting with people on the other side, and then he said there were people in the middle, like drug trade, drug wars, movements of packages or owing packages, owing money, people in jail and jail time. Put a hit out on the father, a word out on the father. The father had disputes and disagreements with someone. That's what led to the shooting. This was not a random shooting of King Von's father, and he's still angry about it and wants revenge. And some people were afraid that King Von would be the one, and so some people deliberately, I don't know if King Von found out who killed his father over here, because his father said it was more than one person involved. It wasn't just a shooter. It was someone else involved that helped to conspire. He saying, from what I was saying, it was other people involved in this, and people knew who King Von's was, who his father was, whose son this was. They knew whose son King Von was. And some of them kind of whispered or kept their distance because they didn't want King Von to start to question and know the whole story. And then he starts to play with King Von. They started like doing like this. He's like, knuckle up, knuckle up, knuckle, like, hey, like they boxing. The daddy started to do King Von like that and say, you got him, didn't you? You got him. You put something on it. And so they boxing back and forth, ducking and weaving and bobbing and like that. And one solid than the other. And so Nipsey was standing like on the side watching them. He was quiet. I was watching him. I was quiet. And he missed him. The father missed King Von. And he was saying, I love you, and I owe you so much, and I'm so sorry I left you behind. If I hadn't left you, this wouldn't have happened to you. He said, they did this to me, and I had killed my baby boy. And there's going to be I'm getting chills, there's going to be a war behind this. They're going to tell me, and he's pointing down his finger, it's a map, and he's going down on the map, and it looks like it's in Chicago, and he takes me there, and I go with him, and he says, let me tell you something. I said, what's the history? He said, let me tell you the history of this. Because I said, well, I wonder, is he going to go now? Is he going to cut Nipsey off? Is he going to cut me off? Since the daddy's like very territorial. I don't know what the daddy's sign is. The daddy was very aggressive, and because he saw then, and he like gave Nipsey like a handshake, some kind of handshake they did. and because he knows that Nipsey is his friend and has been shielding him like he's his new big homie. He was leading him around and showing him, teaching him things, protecting him on the other side. So he respects that, and he knows that I've been passing the message and helping him too. So he didn't tell us to go away, but he kind of wanted us to fall back a little. So we did, but we could still stay around so that he could spend time he missed with his son. He has a lot of guilt. King Von's father has a lot of guilt and a lot of regret, and he feels like this is his fault because he's like, I laid out the blueprint. He said his father's there too. King Von's father's father, the daddy's dad, is there, and they had some problems and disagreements. So I don't know what, if anybody knows when King Von's father was growing up and was a teen, did he know his father was his father around? Because him and his father getting into it over there, and the father's attacking him, saying this is your fault, and he's like, well, how can you fucking say something to me and talk to me? So it's like this is a generational curse thing, and King Von's father felt like I kind of lined you up for this lifestyle, because if I wouldn't done what I'd done, and if I hadn't to left you, this wouldn't have happened. Okay, that's fine. Wouldn't have happened because I would have been there and would have left you to become a man and try to figure it out and be confused about how to be a man and what things to avoid and have somebody looking over you. And then they just started, I don't know, he was like wrestling with King Von and he was boxing him and he was like, my boy, and he was just hugging him. He's like, I'm so glad to see you. I love you. I missed you. But then he kept saying, you know, we ain't supposed to be over here like this. This is my fault. His father did not blame him. He kept saying it's my fault. And he said, we have to fix this. We have to get this right because I'm going to kill who was involved in this. He said it was a setup, and he keeps saying it's very similar to what happened to him. So if somebody could tell me what happened to King Von's father, how was he shot? Why was he shot? Where was he shot? Because he keeps saying there were a group of people involved in a conspiracy. And then I started looking at some cards, and that bothered me. I probably won't have a lot of time to get into that, so I'm going to come back because I don't know when this is gonna end, but I will read it as long as they want me to because it's so very educational to me. And I heard people saying the manager, they believe the manager's interview. They believe the manager didn't do anything. They believe the manager is not responsible for having anything to do with King Von's death, and he did not know he was going to be executed and assassinated like that. And then when I looked, I asked, did the manager have anything to do with this? And for some reason I see 3 women here, 4 women. And somebody needs to tell me, what is Asian doll brat? Is she a Sagittarius? And is his baby mama a Sagittarius? Are we dealing with Sagittarius Leo energy here? Just like we're dealing with Nipsey, with him and his baby mama. I think Tanisha, I think they said she might be a Taurus, but the other one's a Sagittarius. So Nipsey's a Leo, and then he dealt with Sagittarius. He likes that Sagittarius energy. Then he found me. I'm a Sagittarius. I got 2 Leo men in here. And then King Von's a Leo. He want to talk to me. I'm a Sagittarius with that energy. And then the Sagittarius women, one is a mother. She comes up like this. Death and the Queen of Wands. So that means she's his wife, or she's like his wife, and a mama, a baby mama. Or is his mother, is King Von's mother, a Sagittarius? And then there's another Sagittarius here. So, didn't I tell you all? Because somebody sent me a video and I laughed my ass off. The baby mama, the one I said was a military and a shooter, that I confirmed to me she is military shooter and a criminal law graduate. Very intelligent, very strong, very driven, and she's very masculine. She's pretty. She looks similar to him. Okay, so Asian doll brat is a Sagittarius. So is the baby mama, the military girl. the one that had the baby, is she also a Sagittarius? Because I'm getting this Sag, all this honey, Tina Marie, all, and goddamn Rick James, all this fire and desire energy, baby. I'm getting this Leo and this Sag energy, which I'm loving, because I'm vibing with this, because this is me. So, somebody sent me a video of the baby mama. This supposed to be like last year when she pregnant, so it's baby on like 1 or 2. And remember I said that this was some pussy and dick shit. And that she was mad at Asian Doll Brat because Asian Doll Brat was talking about her pussy and sucking dick skills. And the baby mama was feeling that down in her goddamn pussy. I said, not pussy, pussy. They was on that pussy shit, that pussy and dick shit. King Von, that Leo done put something on them. Hey, Chaz, put something on they ass here and here. So she's driving, and she said, oh, my stomach hurt. I hope I don't have this baby early. She said, I'm going to get this bitch. I'm going to get this motherfucker. They up there playing with me on that goddamn phone. Vaughn is over here fucking with this bitch. Asian doll. The bitch fucking with me and talking shit to me on the phone. I'm driving. See, you cannot fuck with no Sagittarius like that now, goddamn it. Especially they done got a nigga. They all into the nigga. Or no Leo and them goddamn fire sign. Them Sagittarius really is mentally unstable. When they get some good dick off up in them. And you know that fucker's a centaur. A half man and a half goddamn beast. So just think this motherfucker nigga done, that hot ass Leo pipe done went up in them and down in them. Nigga doing all kind of push-ups and motherfucking seesaw moves in the bitch ass and talking to her. Then she said he got that hot ass, fire ass tongue. He done put his tongue on a motherfucking coochie and went down there. The nigga must be fire with the licking, sucking, and the goddamn sticking. See? Because this motherfucker wasn't having it. I don't know what Asian Doll Brat said to this crazy motherfucker. I don't know if she must didn't know this motherfucker like Tupac got a goddamn military mind. The bitch started saying all kind of shit. This motherfucker didn't want to hear. The bitch mind start doing. This bitch start acting like Mr. Smith. This motherfucker goddamn want to get up and goddamn do a Hail Mary on the bitch. So she's driving with the phone on. She on the live driving. This bitch is live driving. Where they at though? Where they at? Bitch, come out. Come out, bitch. Oh, Lord, I hope I don't have this baby. But where they at, the bitch? Asian doll, I want you to keep that energy, bitch. Like you on that phone. When I go up and bitch, open the door, pop to the light, bitch, come on outside, bitch, I'm coming in, pregnancy, baby and all, baby bump and all, oh, we going up in your ass. I don't think Asian doll come out. She said, goddamn King Von. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all how Leo's is. King Von think that shit is funny. Cause them bitches, he got 2 fine bitches fighting over him, licking and sticking and both, and they know each other licking and sticking, but one ain't gonna let him go, this ain't gonna let him go. But the baby mama really is the queen/king in this bitch. She just as much goddamn king as this nigga is. As well as look real in a real liberty cute feminine package. So she said, girl, what made me hollow? She said what I said. She said, let me rub my stomach. I'm gonna keep goddamn driving, goddamn it. I might go into labor, bitch. I don't know, bitch. I might be, goddamn it. But I'm not finna stop. I got to get this motherfucker right here for whatever the fuck that bitch said on that phone. Then she over there getting that King Von. Ding-a-ling, baby. So she's like, that shit drove that motherfucker wild, pregnant, goddamn halfway delivery and shit, but she still wouldn't stop and pull over. She said, he not. And she would eyes buck. They wouldn't even blinking. This fucker so mad. She just locked into I'm gonna kill this bitch who pussy he in. He's not gonna do this and keep on coming over there in my pussy. And fucking me in my pussy like he do. Locked and loaded. That's the way he keep putting his mouth on me. I said that shit. Then Alexyss, you got to see this, man. Bitch. I said, oh my God, I said not pussy, bitch. Because they was in the ACL, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where they happened at, or if they were down here somewhere else. I told y'all it was not pussy. It's pussy, bitch. He pulling on that lady pussy with his mouth, teeth, and tongue. And then he goddamn doing that push and pull, baby. It must have been good. Goddamn it, King Von, he up there somewhere. While he giggling. I said, King, oh, that's fun. I know how you Leos is. She talking about he done left with Asian dog. But as soon as I catch the bit, keep on licking my pussy. Like that bitch speeded. Start spread every time she get to think about it. I said, is that a Sag? The baby mama. That's Sagittarius. I said, that she got to be one, man. She got to be one. Cause see how you know, and now y'all, fuck y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all motherfucking talking about. Somebody, you know, I'm crazy and this stupid and shit. I ain't out of character. Y'all motherfuckers out of character. He keep putting his mouth on my pussy. And I was like, well, why don't you keep that man's mouth off your pussy, goddammit? Cause, I mean, if this making you act like this, you're pussy. Pussy. I said, why she keep letting that man put his mouth? Cause that man head game must be strong, good than a motherfucker. And then up here, out breathing, ass buck, pregnant, finna goddamn deliver early. Cause she got to thinking about that man laying his whole mouth and whole hot wet tongue on another bitch pussy. And she said, no, he just keep coming. He keep coming fucking me. He keep fucking me. He keep putting his mouth on. And I said, goddamn, I mean, I don't want no nigga doing me like that, cause shit, I might get up late and do a drive-by too. See, I know my man can't take that. My man cannot handle no nigga doing that. And she's saying this shit. I don't believe this lady. Yeah, Vaughn think that's cute. And he's then Asian daughter ran and hid with him. So you see, I said that's why she up there crying, even though they. Yeah, you know I'm country. I make no apologies, bitch. I can say pussy, but now that's that real deep thug fucking. Just that thug love, goddamn, when a nigga throw down on your shit and you ready to come with me. Hail Mary! She finna do a Hail Mary on. She's finna crucify. You're not gonna keep doing this, boy. Y'all don't know I took care of him. He ain't gave me a mother. They time I get to think about the bag. Fuck you and fuck that. I was taking care of Vaughn first when Vaughn didn't have shit. He just started having money. I'm taking care of this nigga, feeding this nigga fucking me and eating my running. You heard her excel on that gas. Some more. I said, oh. When's this bitch's birthday? I got the vibe. I got a vibe, you know what I'm saying, that me and her is on the same wavelength. That's a Sag, goddammit. It's a Scorpio. Because I'm almost Scorpio. So I'm like close, I'm Sag Scorpio. I'm like, but she's serving Sag teas in this bitch. This is a crazy ass Sag. So somebody said, I think so. Lord, what is it, lady birthday? And what is the other one, Asian dog brat? Because that's a Sag too, the way she up there. I said, send her pussy. It's in her pussy. He was fucking her going deep down, rough and raw. Because, you know, Sagittarius is, you know, everything back them is them hips. Because, you know, it's a centaur. Mid-body, abs, hips, ass. They are ruled by the mid-body, the thighs, the hips. And I said, you know, everything's very tight. A lot of passion, a lot of intensity. And they will get really irrational and real retarded and real stupid in this motherfucker. Real quick. Especially about some good Leo dick. And I said, Lord, wait a minute. Lord Jesus. Asian doll is December 7th. And Kima, the baby mama, December 8th. Shit. And Vaughn is a Leo. So you got triple fire. Fire on fire on fire. And you got 2 5 pussies that one gonna dominate the other. And one gonna show the other that she's the queen. And one is going to rule the other. Them two Sagittarius gonna do this because they not gonna be on the same level. They both think they queen. They both got that 5 vagina power. They both got that pussy, and the most dominant one, the most masculine and sexy and feminine, is going to rule. And it looks like the baby mother is more of that. Like she's in a position and she's going through a lot of emotional changes, but a lot of Sagittarius too will pretend like nothing ain't phasing them and they ain't really hurting. So thank you, Danielle. So she is kind of suppressing it. She's not, people know it around them, but oh, why did you have to bring it up? Yep, because Vaughn got them lips. And if he knows what to do with that, that's why she was up to And look, he keep putting, He keep licking my pussy. He keep eating my pussy and putting his mouth on me. He not going to keep putting his mouth on. I said, oh hell, that's a Sag. It's gotta be, goddammit. It's gotta be. She said, I said, stop it. No, because when they get on go, it's harder to, and the Sag gets irrational and they get on go with that shit. It's really hard. Somebody have to slap them, or somebody need to be in that car to jack this bitch up and handcuff her to the fucking driver when she'll throw the keys out the window to get this motherfucker off go. Because when they like that, they going to the target. That centaur with that gonna pull that bow and pull that arrow back and hit that motherfucker bullseye in this bitch till she get her, and she's like, God damn, I couldn't get him. The fuckers done took off running. Vaughn gone, she gone. So if it's one, because I know some Sagittarius that are my good friends. One of them, I think she's her birthday maybe like a few days after mine, like a week or so of mine. She's just this a sweet baby. She's nothing like me and these two here. Just a sweet baby like I used to be. Until people keep kicking you, abusing you, and you either come up, raise up, and that other mannish side comes out, or they just give in, they become more docile. It's like they can go from one extreme to the other, and it's really hard for those type of energies to learn. Yes, he been with the baby mama. He been going over trying to hit, trying to smash, you know. I don't know how open the baby mama is, but he misses her. And he loves her and the baby, and he's around the baby. He really very possessive of the baby. He don't want what happened to him and his father to happen to his son. He knows the son is going to be monitored and watched like he was when that happened to his father. So he doesn't want her having different kind of men, or if she gets involved with someone else, he don't want his child hurt or abused by someone because they're jealous of the fact that that's his little boy. So he is, well, don't let her hear what. I mean, it is what it is. You can see which one is the most dominant Sag. That's the baby's mother. That's who has his son. And I think that child's birthday is the birthday close to King Von's birthday. Is that little boy also a Leo? Yeah, because he kept talking about the one man. I know he said he have 3 children, but it's one, something about one boy that's the favorite. Okay. So that's what I kept seeing, but she doesn't like the fact that this came to an end, and she's very out of balance behind this. She's just not showing it. So I don't know, I'm sure she's very depressed in her. I don't know if she's talking to someone, having a lot of support around the depression, or taking anything to help her with the depression and the heartbreak, because she feels like she was his wife and she was a mother, the ride or die. She'd do anything for him. And she was all about family, fighting for family and children, and holding everything together. And if anything was off, she would be the one to help pull it together until he could have it. She would have his back. I'm not saying they were together and in love, you're going to be married, but thank you, Mary. But that's how she felt about him. And this is very hard for her and the whole family. Now, the legal proceedings I see are still going on here, and I don't know if the woman is a DA in Atlanta or there's a woman attorney somewhere. The Queen of Pentacles and the Justice. Now, this is weird for me. That's why I'm not going to be able to do all this tonight. I'll come back in a few days because this is ongoing. I touch a little bit on the tarot, and then I'm going to get into other stuff because it'll be too long and too deep because I'm not seeing all aspects of it. When I asked about, now this is kind of fucked up to me. I asked about the manager. He comes up as the King of Pentacles. And I said, what? I said, boy, this. The reason why this bothers me is because it looks like him being a man of power and authority that's hard to get to. But it also shows him beside him like this. This is a nightmare for him. He can't believe this, and he's up worried and having a lot of sleepless nights. But I'm going to tell you what really bothers me so much about this is that he knew. Allegedly. I could be wrong and be getting this wrong. The manager knew that this was going to go on. From what it looks like to me, there were also men and women involved in this, and I keep seeing a woman or maybe two women there. And King Von is showing me something about 2 guns. So I don't know if they're saying he got shot with 1 gun, but what is scary to me is a lot of stuff he's saying Nipsey is saying. So both of them can't be lying, or I can't be lying on both of them or misinterpreting the messages, because a lot of stuff they say about that lifestyle and music is the fucking, not similar, but the goddamn same. What they're saying, he's showing me 2 guns that look like they're the same type of gun, with the same type of bullets, but one bullet looks a little bit like it's been different or changed. So I'm wondering, was he shot with 1 gun? Was it one shooter? Because I don't get a feeling there was 1 shooter. He's telling me there were several shooters, and some of the shooters were called in from out of town. Can you tell me, were all these people there already in Atlanta and living in Atlanta? Do you know if any of them came from out of town? Because I'm seeing some of them were here from Chicago and other places. Not just different parts of Georgia, like Savannah, Georgia. No. And I'm even here in New York City. There were people here from different places, and he knew, the manager knew that this could possibly go down, or it was going to go down. Also, the manager, I see him paying someone. There's a cleanup person. They have people to clean up messes. When I say messes, somebody getting set up, getting murdered in a particular position or house or apartment, and then before the police or forensics get there, somebody comes, takes the body, disposes of it, or repositions or puts it somewhere else, and then cleans up. Yes, I know about the 3 rappers that have been shot. Matter of fact, I was doing a live when Mo 3 got shot, and I said the King Demon said it was getting just releasing the wrath, that you understand me, and you tell them, and I said, yes, I will. And you see, after I did that video, this shit, boom, boom, boom. He's saying that this manager now has cleanup people, but there were also cleanup people that knew that was in town, that knew this was going to go on, to help stage it and make it look like he wasn't involved. I know that sounds crazy. I'm saying alleged because, we heard his interview and he said he didn't do anything. He didn't know anything about it. This is King Von's desire to go to this place they want to go to, and it's up to him. He's grown. They were going to the Airbnb. We know you know about that because y'all do a lot of prostitution in the Airbnbs. And he said, this is what we do. Okay, so, yeah, but it's still not, that's not what they're saying to me. That's not what King Von is saying to me. And that's not, he's showing me the replay. There's another older man, kind of stocky, light-skinned. Matter of fact, he looks like one of the ones I saw in some footage dancing in the club right before the shooting jumped off. They went outside. King Von was high on something. I'm not going to say it's weed because I don't know what was in the weed. And I feel like that was a setup to put him in that position to make it look like he did it. Like this, he was just on go. And also they told the people to start fucking with King Von to provoke him. Because you know how also Leos are like that when they get on go. You can't really do that to them, talk to them until they go in the target. Especially if they keep jugging. As we said, I'm jugging at it. They told them to do that. Somebody, and it was male, and the manager knew about it, told them to do that. Knowing how he is, knowing his mind was going to flip when he was on whatever narcotic he was on. And now he's very nervous. The manager's nervous because he don't want to do what? Lose his money. It's not really about King Von here. It's not really worried so much about him. He's worried about losing his artists, his credibility, his reputation, and his money. And getting his insurance and whatever other money he's getting behind King Von's death and losing that artist like that. So I don't know how all those management contracts go, what percentages he was getting. He gets those. I don't know how the royalties go. Is there going to be legal? I thought it might be legal proceedings around King Von's estate and his money and his publishing. I don't know who owns that. They say he owns it, but I don't know with his record deal what is in that contract and what percentages they get. So this is going to have to be sorted out. This manager is concerned about his reputation, his money. And then from showing him being the King of Pentacles, he also has gang affiliations. He is in organized crime. He has business affiliations on top, and he has street affiliation and underworld affiliation. His political ties and gangland ties. A man that could be very kind and nice, but very feared and very respected in a lot of circles. And people know if he does a favor for you, then you must return that favor. You're indebted to him. Or if he asks you to do something, most people are not going to say no to him, because he's a powerful man, even though he comes off smiley and jokey, but baby, that's not what that is. That's the King of Pentacles. And he's all about money, and he has tentacles out in the streets and in the boardrooms. He has a lot of powerful ties and affiliations, and a lot of friends in high places and low places that are powerful, and people will do things for him and are afraid of him. So he is trying to put it, at least it sounded that way to me. When I listened to the video, he's trying to put this on King Von and blaming him. And he walked into this and he started this and he was on go and, you know, he got high. And you see in the video, he walked over and you see how the angle, and he started it. King Von did not start that. Yes, you see him walking up to the boy and fighting him, but they were provoking him. Not just right then, but this had been going on earlier for hours, maybe in a couple of days. Maybe longer than that. This had been going on, and then the thing is, how did they know he was going to have the party there for the album? And all? Who invited them? Who told them? Because I saw a lot of people there. So how did they know he was going to be there? Usually those things are not open for everybody. It's just, the more I look at this, what do you mean Vaughn was from China? I don't understand. Yeah, but they had a lot of ties to Atlanta, New York, other gangs. So that is bothering me. And the manager is wanting to frame this in a way to look like he's not responsible for this, step away, and that he's not legally liable in any way to get his money. So if he's got to make Vaughn the fall guy, King Vaughn the fall guy, and that he shows has no liability to this, gets his money and walks away, it looks to me like that's what he's concerned about. It looks like that's what he's thinking about. And then it's showing these wild children. Some people look at them as wild children. Wild young men is a problem. Everywhere they go, they start trouble. We don't want to be where they are. We don't want to be seen with them, because every time they come into a particular place, they bring trouble and mayhem. And it was another person here. So everywhere this young man goes, this man has been implicated, not King Von. The ones that are involved in arguing with him, starting that, been antagonizing it, and shooters, said that this man has done this before. So if you all can find something on Quando Rondo and his cousin, little Tim, that was charged with the shooting, because King Von said he's not the only one that's responsible for shooting me. He's just the one they're going to take the fall and keep quiet and not tell on everybody, unless some other kind of way they charge other people as conspirators or co-conspirators. Because this man has been, whenever there's been other events and somebody wants to start some shit with, the higher ups or the managers, they want to point a motherfucker out for extinction or elimination or assassination. They will bring a certain hothead, somebody that comes off as fun and lighthearted and funny. You're partying and have a good time. Really, you're a fucking shooter. You've been paid to do a particular hit. That's the target right there. Now, we know y'all don't like each other anyway, and you're going to antagonize him on the internet, on the phone, or whatever, before we get to the event. And then we're going to squeeze you in, or you're going to be mixing the crowd. You just dancing, just smoking, just drinking. Yeah. And the bitches, yeah. And so nobody don't pay because you the fun boy. You having a good time, and then, boom, you going to shoot the nigga. And the same way you eased in, just dancing. We're going to wrap it up, and we're going to get you out real quick. I don't really, I don't want to get into this because this is so fucked up, and then the manager's going to rise up off of this and get new promise engagements. He's already working on new business deals and promising engagements, and he's going to get more of them as soon as he plays this in a way. So it's like, look, he did that to himself. That's kind of indirectly, that's the feeling I'm getting. You're trying to say, this man did this to himself. You didn't do this. You didn't have anything to do with this. He brought, see how he is in there? See how he walking over there? See how he hitting fur? No, he did. And what I'm telling you, the reading's saying, no, he didn't. King Von didn't just up out of the blue and go side and beat that boy ass like that. And it's still not justifiable to shoot someone that many times because you are in a fight with an individual and they're beating your ass. That exceeds excessive force. It's not equal force. If there are people that know the law that are watching me right now deal with attorneys, especially in Atlanta, please correct me if I am wrong. It's either fist with fists, knife and knife, gun and gun, bat and bat. But to beat someone up, especially you're much taller than King Von, to him beating you and you can't take that, that's just fist. And then somebody shoots him, that's not the same level of force, fist to fist. You just exceeded the force of a fist and shot him multiple times, executed him like a dog, like an animal in the street because he was getting the best of you throwing them hands, putting them piles on you in the dirty South. That's not the same level, and I really am curious to see how this case is going to go if he gets off with no time, unless they have changed the law. For when I dealt with something similar, in high school, that's excessive force. Because you can't deal with this boy beating your ass in front of everybody. You can't take the ass beating like a man and you just live to die another day. And y'all throw them hands another day. But you're going to do this. Put your cousin up to do it. I'm telling you, this was not a spur of the moment thing where the cousin just jumps in and shoots him. I'm telling you, this was staged and orchestrated. And just like I still feel today, what I felt a couple of days ago, people involved and that was around the manager and around King Von have left. If they were hanging around his house and hanging around his mama, the baby mama and all of them are not there. Now, some of these people are missing or plan to get out of town and be unavailable, difficult to find. Okay. And then the father gets into something with me and Nipsey gets into it and they're teaching King Von. Well, I know they're definitely teaching me because Nipsey's... King Von's father started to teach me, and then Nipsey was co-signing it, so they knew what I didn't know. And King Von's father said, let me tell you something. I'm going to give to you the history of Chicago and the gangs and the drug dealing. He said, because he did do it. He did sell drug. He was a hustler. I have no problem with that. I asked someone on the YouTube, and they think I'm going to judge it. How can I judge that? When that's been in my life and people in my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge that. I grew up in the hood and the projects like everybody else. I can't pass no judgment. All I want to know is that if I'm accurate or not. That's all. That's all the purpose I want to know for. Am I hearing and speaking to the right person? Because I do not want to disrespect anybody or their relatives or their name. That's it. Oh, that's what that is? Because I'm trying not to light them up tonight. But I feel them very strongly here, and the Lions are here. Feels like Nipsey's grandmother was here. And, yeah, I have some company. A lot of beings, and some of them are not human. The father says to me, this is the first place we went. I watched the movie Hoodlum. And he told me that was how this started. And I said, Hoodlum, I didn't know if that was where that was. Chicago somewhere, I thought maybe it was New York. He said, this is what was going on. And then the number 235. And I remember from being down here, and a little girl, the numbers were played in the projects. And they would have them pick up the sheets of numbers at a certain time. Or my grandma would get on the phone and call the number in. And look, May Francis put 50 cents or $1 on 118 or whatever. Because I had a dream about some fish.
Or I had a dream, about my dead auntie, and let me look in the dream book. Death mean this, death that number. Okay, play these right here. Put 50 cents on this, 50 cents on that. You know what I'm saying? So I know about that. And those men, those hustlers, were some of the very powerful men in the black community, even down here in Atlanta, and they had a lot of money, big cars, they running numbers, they driving the taxis, they gambling. A lot of these men, just like my grandfather that my grandmother was with, he did not work a 9 to 5. He was a hustler, a numbers runner, a gambler, a cab driver, in every fucking year. No year skipped. He had a brand new Cadillac. Whatever the Cadillac was, that particular year, every year he got it, and had a big old house on the hill and apartment units, because he would have my grandmother. He had a wife too. Her and my grandma was fighting by dick and shit. She was his mistress, his bottom bitch. But he would send my grandmother every week to go pick up the rents. And so he trusted her like that. So that's how I know. So I don't judge any of that, because I was in it, and that's how my mother left me there, and that's how we ate. He took care of her and made sure she had what she needed. Even though she had the assistance, he would still subsidize her shit. And every week she was down on Sweet Auburn Avenue at the Curb Market, getting everything fresh and meats and all that. Two big old freezer, big old pantry, big old refrigerators and shit. So shit. Them hustlers that was really good at that shit, and in the hood hustling, I'm talking about, it might have been poor, but them niggas was rich in the motherfucking hood. You got a nigga like that, you got you a real nigga. So I know about that. I wish I could find me one right about now. You know what I'm saying? Because them niggas, they love you, they down with your motherfucking ass. And get rich. There don't be no play money. Rich. So he said, let me give you the history. I said, okay. Yes, sir. And, he was mad at me, so I was hoping the nigga calm down. So, I'm listening. So he said 235. And I looked that up. 235 is also a number for death. It's a death angel, but it also could be an angel to come help you. Okay, Mary. Okay, you know about that. You know what I'm saying? The real boss niggas. And let me tell y'all something right now, and I don't have anything to do with it. People send me messages. My page is public. I can't comment. I can hear, but I can't say. It's not my fault. This is Facebook. It ain't my motherfucking website. So if y'all got a problem like that, y'all got to check your settings or talk to Facebook about it, because I have not blocked anybody from over here. I don't approve who can comment. I don't say this person can't comment. It's an open forum. All of my shit is public. I don't have a motherfucking thing. So if you can't comment, please stop. I'm telling you right now, stop sending me messages, because I did not block you. I didn't do anything. It's not my fault. That's why I said stop emailing me, because I can't change it. Check your settings or contact Facebook. I didn't do anything, okay? Now, if it's my page or it's my website or something, we're over there. I can control it. Here, I can't control it. It's not me. Okay. So he's telling me 235, and I'm looking at that. And then I'm going to get into it, Helios. When you deal with Helios, that's one of the cities, I think that's in the underworld, that's tied to Greek mythology. So 235 could represent an angel, a savior, but also it is speaking of death. Okay, and then I looked at skull and crossbones, that's 233. And then Helios, the city of Helios, which is dealing with the other side in the underworld, is 233. So that's telling me we're dealing with secret societies, Masons, skull and crossbones, the ones on top that control the whole world and run the whole world and appoint their people in positions of power from their schools that they teach and keep everybody else enslaved and oppressed. Thank you, Kimberly. Y'all keep saying that, so that's what it's going to be. Like I said, I'm going to let Nipsey, I told y'all, he comes up with stuff and he dresses me and I create things. And I said, let me test and see if they like it, Nipsey. So he kept telling me for 3 days, do it. And I was like, no. So the last minute I did it and he liked it. So Kimberly, okay, that's what it is. I'm going to listen to him, and I'm coming up with the next outfit. And I hope you all like it as much. And I'm working on my birthday outfit too, that he's helping me find. Okay. So I already know that the skull and crossbones, he said before the black gangs and the black drug running, he said this is what we started with. the Italian mob. He said with the numbers running. And then he mentioned ticker tape, how they have ticker tape parades. So then I looked at that, and I'm going to get into that more when I come back, because you're dealing with the ticker tape parade, and it ties to what? Fashions and numbers on clothes. And we know that the fashion industry in New York is ran by homosexuals. If you're not a homosexual, or if you're not down with them, or sleeping with one of them, or going through the rituals to get in, you're not going to get in there. And you're not going to be a hairstylist working on celebrity sets and TV shows neither, because that's also ran by them. As well as music, rap music, country music, R&B, goddammit, pop and rock. You're going to bow to the Baphomet, goddammit, and you're going to take some titties and dick. Now, don't take it in your mouth, take it in your ass, take it in your pussy. Bitch, however way you want it, bitch. Pussy, mouth and ass. Goddamn mouth, ass, but wait, however you want to switch it, bitch. And you might get pissed and shitted on and have to ride the goat and get fucked in your pussy by a 15-inch donkey, goddammit. So which one, bitch, what? It depends on how high you want to go. Because you want to get up to presidential status. You want to get up to high politician status. You want to be the House Speaker, goddammit. We might bring a bull in this bitch. Because you see more energy. Like Biggie said, more money, more problems. So see, if you want more money, goddammit, then you're going to have a bigger problem, because you're going to take a more of a bigger dick. I don't know if it's going to be a rhinoceros dick. Goddamn elephant. Bitch, how you want it, goddamn. Now, it just depends on which tier of dick that you get and what fucking animal kingdom, because we ain't dealing with human no more. Did you want to fuck the gorilla we got around there, the zoo, goddamn it, that they pop the lock after midnight, because they know that we get over there in the wee hour, the devil's hour, 2 and 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning. That's when the devil rise up, when we unlock his gate, goddamn, now, and we be in the party and doing the fucking spirit, because y'all think I'm lying. I'm not fucking lying. Whenever you want to get up that, nay, don't put that elephant emoji up. They loves the horses. Because a couple of years ago, y'all can look it up out there in California, it was some gay men like to jump that fence in one of them horse stables out there and fuck them horses. And I don't know, but they big. I couldn't take that shit, but I like when the horses dick get on hard. They be about 15 inches, goddamn, that's long and strong and shit. And them gay men, I don't know if they pop that Molly and sweating, or pop that Percocet and get you wet, and jack that horse dick, and they was bending over and let that horse fuck them in the ass. And there was a group of them, and I don't know if the horse got too excited. They even got porn, them fucking horses, and letting dog eat their pussy. Black people do this shit too. Now, I don't know, Chanel, you lighting a white candle, goddamn, you might have to light a goddamn black on black for this shit, or black and red reversible in this motherfucker now. Look, don't start talking about no lighting no candle, because that bring back bad memory of me, that dog I was talking about last week, that damn pickle, whatever the fuck that is, with them pink ribbon that he got on the side of his fucking forehead. Because I got a small black candle lit on his ass and a big one on his fucking mama. So don't, like, you talking about, like, yes. So don't get on no goddamn candle lighting, but maybe you don't need no white one for this, goddamn it. You need a red one, goddamn Ron, Devil Ron, or one of them goddamn black blockbusters in this bitch. So this nigga bending over, I guess this nigga done bent over and grabbed his goddamn kneecaps, or I don't know if the nigga grabbed his ankles, and got two, yeah, not pink, This nigga had some hot pink ribbons in this little bitch head. Little fucking Pomeranian. And he bent over, and the horse started fucking him in the ass. I'm getting good to him. But they started just ramming this nigga just straight in the ass. And then the nigga talking about, what? This thing I know, this nigga fell, collapsed over, ass started bleeding out. They picked this motherfucker up, drove him up to the emergency room, hospital, dropped the nigga off outside. Because, you know, they didn't want to stay and take him in there. a lot of places, y'all don't believe this. It's legal to have sex with animals, but I guess they didn't want to tell the emergency room doctor, the surgeon that can put that man ass back together if they could piece it together for all that dick he took down in his bowels. Bust his bowel open the day he had been out, they been out there fucking them horses, so they left the man out there in California. Out there, the man was laid out there, crumbled up, asshole leaking out, bleeding like a son bitch out there, man. So see, you think I'm lying, but y'all go look up humans and animals, horses fucking. And them animals, because that shit goes down, goddammit, in the DM now, when they do them spiritual rituals and as people climb up, the more power and a certain demon that you want to give you that wealth and glory, those require animals. You having sex with the goddamn animals, man. So King Von Daddy bring up the skull and crossbone. And then King Von says somebody, they sound like he said little JoJo. So I don't know, some little gangster somebody, because I seen a little somebody, some young man killed up there that was in the gang named Little JoJo. So I don't know how Little JoJo ties into this right now. They have to take stuff like that, Nikki. Because they ruling the world. They're not only the president of the United States, they become the president, they the most powerful man on the whole planet when they come to president of the United States. So yes, they do the rituals to get there. You're not voted in. You think your vote really matters like that? The people that have been oppressed on the bottom, you gonna change shit by putting a fucking ballot right there with a number? See, they go back to them pieces of paper now with the numbers on it, them bets and them numbers and the ticker tape, which is controlling fashion and clothes. So that's one reason I don't wear designer clothes. I don't care if people make fun of me. I'd rather take my money and make my clothes or find me some nice clothes that I like, sold a particular style I like, and save my goddamn money and put my money on something else, because it's not really that important. And what I know about them clothes is that is a very demonic ritual, and those are spirits they put on them clothes, and that label that you die for and kill for and suck a dick for and steal for, that's not a label design. That is a magic seal for a particular demon that will get on that item, and you keep flashing and flashing and flashing the sigil, which you think is the name brand, but it is really seducing and mesmerizing you and making you obsessed with the fashion and the designer to pull you in, so you literally win a demon on you. See, you see all these women's up here, I don't get jealous of it no more. Cause that what Nipsey told me the other day, and another spirit was telling me the other day, you see these people, and I saw some people in his clique that was managing him and helping promote him, and every time you turn around, they're using that person to wear those clothes that have been satanically dressed and circumcised, use a human sacrifice for blood, that they've given that spirit and the water spirit and mermaid spirit to bless the clothes and possess the clothes, to lure you in and make you want that lifestyle. They use that person and beautify the person. Oh, look at her clothes. Oh, look at her shoes. Look at her pocketbook. Oh, she was so pretty. I want to be like her. I want to do what they do. I want to get up there. And then you get in there and then get fucked and raped and ass raped. Do all kinds and sell your soul and all kinds, sacrifice somebody or your baby, or have an abortion or miscarriage, or say, yeah, they sit down here, call yourself having a miscarriage when you know that you really aborted to give that to the Baphomet for fame and fortune and pleasure, and then you cry like you had a miscarriage and shit and go to the goddamn hospital when you really know what that is. You know what that is. Everybody feels sorry for you and shit, and you put their emotions in and you use their emotion for your pain, but you really have no fucking pain. Because instead of you going out and shooting a motherfucker or killing them, you give your child. And you said that you miscarried real bad. See, so I seen that. I said, no, I'm not buying them clothes. I'm not wearing that brand. I'm not flashing them up, throwing it up on the camera. Give a fuck about what nobody say about me, laugh, whatever. I'm fine the way I am, because I'm not going to put my money in that, and then a year or so later, or 6 months later, this shit is out of season. Then meanwhile, you got that spirit on you now that possess you to take all your money and take your soul, and your whole value of who you are is wrapped up in material thing that's gonna die anyway and lead you straight to fucking hell. And ain't gonna really get you nowhere. Now, somebody give you the clothes, but you know what? At this point, if somebody gave them to me and say, hey, will you just wear this and I can sense, if that's what that is, I don't give a fuck how pretty it is. I'll go make me a knockoff or buy a goddamn knockoff that look just like it without that tag on it. If I can get a $5,000 coat with the tag on it that I know a demon, that's a sigil that been cursed, so it curses whoever get on it and consume or possess them and make them chase, take all their money, their whole wealth, and their image is obsessed with that. I can rather give me a $500 coat that look just as good, just like it, and ain't got that demon seal on that motherfucker. See, a lot of people can't understand that, because people treat you like shit and say, well, you can't come here, and you can't, if you ain't driving this car, and you ain't riding with this style, and you ain't got this power. That's fine. I've been by myself, baby, anyway. Born by myself, gonna die by myself. That's cool with me. I understand now, thank God, that the whole system is demonic. Baby, I'll buy a knockoff in a minute, and if I can rock that motherfucker and dress that motherfucker, get creative with it, that's fine with me, because I don't have that demon on me. See? Because now I understand. That's all it is, to lure you in. These people don't give a fuck about you. The only thing they're concerned about, me, I. If I can seduce and lure them in, because they done made a deal with this demon. And the demon gives them whatever they want and seduce the minds of the people to lure them in. And when something happens to you, you lose your job, you lose your money, you get sick, you can't afford it, they're not finna give your ass a goddamn thing. They're gonna go on to the next victim while you sitting there fucked up and broke up, and now you feel like you ain't shit because you can't compete with this person and that person with this car and that label and that brand. That's basically sucking and feeding and vampiring off of you anyway. Now you crossed up with that shit on you, see. He brought that in with the ticker tape and the fashion, how they control people through that. So he mentioned JoJo, Lil JoJo in Chicago. He also mentioned Momo. Momo is Sam Giancana with the Italian mob and the Chicago Lottery Division and the Chicago horse racing, where the horse races was fixed and controlled by the mob. Now tell me if I'm hearing this man correct. I don't know, baby. I wasn't even born. 30s, 40s, 50s. And I didn't know anything about it. So I'm trying to understand the man to give me some good shit. I'm there, wow, I like this here, cause and then Nipsey going, yup. And King Von is quiet to listen to his daddy, because he's just in awe. Well, I get my daddy. I get to see my daddy and spend time with my daddy. He's saying that they control the numbers. They're very powerful black families that ran the hood, had their own money, their own financing, their own mob. They control their own businesses. Then he said the Italians got in it and was jealous and wanted to take their enterprise. It was one man, what they said, this man here, trying to keep up red. Let me look at my papers. Who is it? Because, this is good. Well, good to me. What they telling me. And where I wrote, I was trying to hurry up and scribble as much as I could and to tell y'all there was a black man and his family that was over. Okay, is this one of them here? It's so interesting what they're saying to me. I'm so honored by them. Because there are several things that, if you know who it is, I know his name, to call him Red or something like that, that was involved in this. I'm probably looking dead at it, and I've scribbled so much stuff down that I'm overlooking this. Yes. Theodore Tough Teddy Rowe. Okay? That was the black man that was a multimillionaire in his families, and he was running numbers. They call it the policy numbers, which is playing the numbers in the project. And with the black people, the first lottery, the lotto that they got now, they stole it from the black peoples. And he said, betting the numbers and betting on the horses. Now, I've never been to Chicago. I don't know nobody up there, so if y'all Chicagoans hear this here, or you in here, you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Because that's what King Von Daddy say to me. And Nipsey Hussle was backing it up, and little King Von was like this. Just listening. Yes, Daddy. Yeah, just soaking it up like I'm just listening. He said, that's how it started. And he said the mob also was running the horses and fixing the horses and beating motherfuckers up and killing motherfuckers. When they would, a certain horse would win, or they would have a certain horse fixed to win and a certain one fixed to lose. They would shift to him. He said, everything, he says, not about money first, Alexyss. It's about numbers that rule this system. Numbers. He said, just like when you're dealing with the universe, and you're dealing with the universe of a person and in their mind, the first creation is when you're dealing with astronomy and astrology is a vibration and a frequency in quantum numbers. And those are what constitutes and creates the construct of the mind. I said, now you really talking my goddamn shit now. Because that's what I deal with, the foundation of vagina power, penis power, and sperm power, dealing with the etheric anatomy and the structure of it. And so he said, yes, that's the first place when we understood that. We're very spiritual in the way we ran our businesses and very methodical with the numbers game, because we knew the foundation of everything was numbers and mathematics. Okay. So even when you get into the 5%ers, Moorish law, which is a lot of where this come from too, because he dealt with maritime law and Moorish science, when you are dealing with the stock markets and when you're dealing with seamen and naval vessels, which will still go back to the Moorish law and Moorish government that was stolen from them. That ties also into who you are, who you're not. A dead person when you're called a black, and naming all cap, which is like the straw man, the entity, the dead person, the nom de guerre. This all runs together. He said they knew that science, and that was the foundation of the principle. Everything they established first built on not words but numbers, because you first need a number to have a word. Just like you deal with the letter A, that would be 1. The letter B, that would be 2. The letter C, that would be 3. And so on and so forth. And the daddy talking. If y'all can get the daddy name, please tell me the daddy name. Because nobody said they could give it to me, or maybe they don't want to give it to me. I don't know. But I know this was his daddy talking. Said they run them numbers, stack that cash. But see, like he say, the paper cash itself is really not the value. The value is who controls the form and source of currency at the time. Because you have a number, and you have a ticket, and you have a ticker tape, and you have a credit card, and you have a code. You have cyber cash. But then when you convert it down into a form where everybody then has a currency that they can circulate, which would be a cash dollar. The cash dollar, which is a form of currency, can be changed at any time without your giving you warning or notice. So the cash itself is not the power. The power is who controls and creates the cash currency. That is really the one who has all the power and creates the rules around it, the political rules around what it will and what it will not be, and then the one who enforces the will. If you have the muscle to enforce the will of the one that controls the system, that creates the number, that then spits out the currency that you think is the power, which is a paper dollar, because they're getting ready to take that. So that in itself is none. So if you think that makes you powerful and special, and now you have a ride because you got that, I don't know what you're going to do when they take that, because they're already moving towards it, because that is not the real currency. That's not the power of it, because you are not holding the source and you are not the generator. You just have a form of the extension of the source, which really has no value at this point, because it's not bagged by gold. So I'm listening to the daddy spit, and I'm like, Daddy, you know I can dig it. You got the right sage for this month, but you got the right one, baby. Yeah. So you had to get a seasoned sage for this bitch. And I'm that motherfucker. Let's roll, Daddy. I got you. And I'm writing down everything Pops is saying. He said, so I said, oh, that's where it started. Okay. And then he say, so I got you there. We dealing with Chicago Italian mob. We deal with numbers running. We dealing with hits. We dealing with assassinations for power, strong arming people for power. And then one of them, I'm not sure if it was Teddy, but one of the very powerful black founders and originators of numbers running was arrested. That's where he met one of the Italian mobsters, and they became friends in prison. Or was it Momo? Was it Sam Giancana? Or was it another mobster? Tell me if this is not Sam Giancana or Momo. They were friends, but when he took this back to the other Italian, they were like, we know that you like this Negro and everything, but you need to find a way to move into that or ask him to be partners with that. And once you become partners with that, you're going to take it from him and kill him. And the black man agreed to do it, and not knowing that that was the ultimate goal. They were going to take it from him. So he gave him an offer you can't refuse. Look, you go to Mexico. We'll give you a certain amount of money, certain amount of millions. You can take as much as you can. And then you're going to go and you're going to let us have these projects. You're going to let us have this numbers running. You either do that or we're going to shoot your ass dead right now. I think he might have left, but I don't know if all the family members left to give the numbers running in Chicago to the Italians. So if you all have to do some more researching, as like I said, I can't get into all of it tonight. That's a little bit he told me that I kind of checked on and could see it. Okay. And they, of course, didn't want to give it up because it was their business. It was their city. It was their town. It was a black community that was being run by blacks for blacks and servicing them. And they wanted because they saw the millions of dollars that black people were making for themselves. He also mentioned this is not just about the numbers running, the lottery and the horses. This is also about funeral homes. And this is about not only policy slips, picking up numbers, but insurance policies. I think at that time, black people, because I remember growing up and there were a couple black-owned insurance companies in Atlanta that made a lot of money and they controlled it. And so this was corporate level, millions, controlling, getting policies, playing people's numbers every day, betting, and then controlling insurance policies on people's lives. Cashing in policies, and then that goes right where, as people giving you money every month for policies, to the stock market and banks, banking and finance and politics. Black people back then, they had some banks, restaurants, insurance companies, funeral homes, and running the numbers and the horses. And because that's where the money is, that's where the necessities are. Everybody needs those services. So blacks were in it, running it for themselves, running their own communities. They didn't like that. And the Italians wanted that in a piece of it. And what else? Yes, and controlling politicians, paying them, and political murder. If it's people not in office willing to be paid off and do what you want them to do, assassinate them. Move everybody out of the way that don't want to do what you want to do. And then they started getting certain black people to introduce the drugs into those communities. Okay. So anybody here that knows the history or knows history of Chicago, know that. Correct me if I'm, touching on this and I'm not correct, because I'm trying to listen to what King Von's father is trying to tell me how this started and what the basis of it. Now they own and control those. He said those are the main arenas that run the world. Those are the main arenas that make all the money. And what else? Controlling the blocks, controlling the black towns, controlling the territories, and selling drugs. And he said that they didn't start selling the drugs in the black community. The other race started, the Italian, and they started getting it from them, bringing it in. So I don't know what other race besides the Italian that they were buying it from and bringing it into Chicago and then spreading it nationwide. But he said it started Harold Washington. They murdered him. Yes, and okay. Was he ever doing drugs? Is that which mayor? Was it a mayor in Chicago or L.A. that was actually in a hotel smoking crack? Which one of them they had turned out? Because now I see how that happens, and said they control police. They had certain police they pay on the payroll to do what they say. A certain area, we're going to be over here. We're going to do a shooting over here. We're going to put the drugs out over here. We got them dealing on this street. So make sure you stay here. Don't let no other officer go in there that will break it up or bust them or lock them up or tell. He said, so they were doing that then, and it moves through the youth. And then he mentioned the 80s. Then it really got bad again with the 80s babies and the cocaine cowboys. I think was at Miami. They were bringing it in through Miami, and then they start distributing it just like the Colombian was giving it to Freeway Ricky in LA, and then distributing it throughout the projects in the United States. And I saw that era when it came in, and oh boy. That it went from the projects when I was there was absolutely beautiful. Trees, white and black people lived there. And it went from that to a total wasteland, to look like a war zone overnight. Oh boy. And so I knew when he was saying this, what I was talking about, what he was talking about. He said, and then that's when the prostitution came and the economic crash came in those areas for black people. And I think that's also when they made the run. Was it the 80s was it 80s, early 90s, going into those areas with the distressed properties and lowering the values of the properties. I saw here in Atlanta, and then creating the initiative zones where all these people could go into those areas and renovate them, build houses there, and then jack the prices up and then resell them. And that's what they were doing. And I saw people go in those houses, and the houses, they would get those large loans or get a house, talk an older person out of their house where it had a lot of equity in it, pull the equity out of the house, get some junkies or like some day workers to go in there and piecemeal the house where like a brand new house. The walls were very thin, the floors weren't solid, holes in the floor, just throw some carpet over it and sell those houses for hundreds of thousands of dollars and get people jammed up in them. That was happening then. I saw that wave, and then I saw it again in 2007, 2008. This cycle basically continues because people don't study the cycle. So they get caught. A lot of black people do not study banking, finance, investment, real estate. They don't study laws, and then act like victims when this shit keeps happening. I'm not saying that, oh, it's our fault, but people are used to acting like victims and having a slave mentality, and somebody's acting on them instead of getting the education and pooling together. I don't know how it works, but I saw in the news somewhere it said Killer Mike, the rapper Killer Mike, now has a black bank and people are investing in the bank. So if you all find out about it, put your money in there. Tell me what that's about. I don't know much about it, but they're now. I remember when I saw him and T.I. up there with the mayor of Atlanta, and those are older, established men that are now a part of the political system and being embraced and financially supported. I knew we were going back to the 50s and 60s. I said, this is a throwback. They're going to rewind time to get people caught up in that era of segregation and desegregation, and this is what you need to go back to. It's a system that never ends, and as long as you keep caught up in it, things will never change. You're never going to be free. You're going to be jammed up in this system. It's a game. Let's see, can I stay a little bit longer? And set the phone. And so as he's talking to me, and I'm seeing this, and I'm Oh, that looks pretty with the blues in the back. I'm looking at this. And I'm listening to the Father, and I'm just like, this is never going to end. This is never, ever going to be over. I see that right now. And so, and he's telling me the foundation of it, and the foundation looks the same. And then there's a homosexual man that comes in, a very wealthy homosexual man. And he says to me, he takes me downtown, and he shows me the tallest buildings. He said, you want to know where the tallest buildings are in Atlanta? He said, in almost every city. And if you all can see, if I misunderstood this man, go downtown or look downtown where you are and look at the names of the tallest buildings. He said there would be insurance and banks. He said there are buildings owned by insurance companies and banks. He said that's what makes the world go around. Banking, finance, insurance, banks, credit cards, debit cards. And they also fund political wars and military wars. Then the other things involved is the well, yeah, and unfortunately nobody taught me to do that younger. I was struggling in the streets and trying to take care of a baby. So I didn't get a chance to, I wasn't going to leave my child. So now, I'm doing it later. I'm catching up, and I'd rather have done it this way than to leave my baby. So I'm running, and he doesn't listen to me, but I still try to tell him anyway. And I'm like, well, one day I'm not here, you're going to wish you listened to me. Or, you'll maybe learn it from someone else, or I'll leave it for you. And I was listening to the gay man, and I said, wow, you're so intelligent. And he said, there are curses and rituals and spells done to keep them on top and to suppress people on the bottom that they don't like. And they really don't want to exist, but they can't destroy all of us. And certain people of color they don't like. And they will not let them ever control stock markets, banking, finance, and insurances and politics ever again, and their own bodies with mortuary science and funeral home and funeral directing, because they know more than you do about who you are. And they know that you can rule and function yourselves with the right opportunities, the right money, like everybody else does, and takes care of their own communities. But if they can stop you from doing that, they'll always rule, and you'll be a slave and basically be set up for annihilation and extinction. So I'm listening to him, and he said, I'm a part of that world. I am educated. I'm a part of the fraternities and Masonic organizations, black and white, and secret societies, and they're also very powerful women secret fraternities and female Masons. He said, but I had to go through homosexual rituals. I had to become a member of the boys club. And he said that's what a lot of people don't know. He said that the higher up politicians that run the world, they have a private boys club. A lot of them are married men that have families and children. He said, but they also secretly have to take oaths like skull and bones, and there are homosexual oaths and homosexual boys private clubs, steam rooms, and games they play. And if you do not play that game and you do not participate, you will not graduate to the highest levels of science, political science, military science, and the world of banking and finance. And he said, we know when someone is getting ready to die, because there's a private memo and a note sent out with a certain insurance policy. He said people need to be careful, especially if they're in a high profile position in entertainment, when their insurance policy is taken out on them. Because he said curses are put out on policies. And the policies every month, the payments, the money goes to Wall Street. and the stock markets, and they make billions of dollars. And then he said this moves into Rome and secret societies where they have to pay their dues every month to fund them. And they then control politicians. They control laws through insurance policies on people's lives, which control the stock market, again, which control the laws and policy and politics, going back to policy with numbers and stocks, control the police and every major city. So what's he saying? Yeah, fraternities, Mason, secret sex cults. Yes, he said, and the spiritual satanic churches, alcohol, medicines, sex and boys clubs, and then the boys clubs, the girls clubs, different schools. He said they all have people there, and they target certain children they're going to pick and rise up. They target certain children they're going to pick to fall and be sacrificed. And that ties into when you're controlling the bodies. There's certain bodies of certain people that they will take the cornea, the retina, the whole eye. If it's a person like a matrix, a mother of a matrix, a father of a matrix, a child of a matrix, where they know your bloodline and you don't, so they know their special powers, special gifts, special abilities. They will take some skin, they will take some nerve, they will take some brain, they'll take the melanin organs and the rich blood, and they do certain rituals with them for power and to consume. So they like to control anything that biohazards, what they say is a biohazard, like they'll encourage. A lot of black women have abortions. I've seen black women that I've known had 5 and 10 abortions. And then they'll go eat and fix their hair and go take another dick. Like it's nothing. They like that. And now they make it so that the bigger the baby, 6, 7, 8 months pregnant, you can really get you an abortion then, a whole baby, because it's more money that they get when they sell the parts, the head, the brain, the eyes, the feet. It costs more. They make more money on a fully developed baby that they tell you is not a human, not a baby, but you know it is, because you let it grow long enough, it's going to be a whole baby human. That's really like genocide and feticide, homicide. You're killing. You're taking another life. And then they telling you they throwing it in the trash, and a biohazard bag. They don't throw them babies away. They make cream, take the faux skin, make anti-aging regeneration cream off the faux skin of the little boy. It has a lot of rich, nutrient-rich stem cells in the head of the penis and in those babies. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. All of them, he said, are tied together. And he said, once you become a part of that world, you can't bring your people into that world. It's forbidden. If they pick you and you're one of the special ones, you cannot reveal the secret. You can stay in there and you can enjoy that world with them, but you can never explain it, and you can never ever share it with yours. You will become consumed with them, and you cannot open those opportunities up, or you'll be killed. Okay. What else he say? Yeah, King Von Father genetic roadmap. King Von's father feels very guilty and very sad. He blames himself because he felt like his genetic blueprint was so strong on him when he was having sex with his mother that he literally laid his whole genetic roadmap and blueprint all over King Von. And his life reactivated, and the karma was manifested through his son's life for a second generation. And it makes me wonder, was it the third one? Because I wonder what King Von's father's father was like. What was the grandfather like? Because this happened so strong. He looked just like his father. I'm just not sure if they were the same height, because someone made a comment and said that his father was taller than him. So if anybody can verify that, let me know. And he wants to make it up to his son. He feels so guilty. He's just riddled with guilt to see, and he's so sorry this happened to his baby. He keeps apologizing. He said they're preparing for war. It's getting ready to be war on both sides. And this gay man said, and I know this is true because I've met some gay men of different races who told me this. He say, when you get in there like that wealthy boys club, and they decide which rituals that you're going to be involved in. Said the grandfather started a gang in Chicago and died at 27. What? So King Von's father's father was also a gangbanger. I understand they had to do it at the time to survive. There's a lot of segregation and racism. They were locked out of a lot of opportunities. He said they will determine, he said a lot of fisting goes on. There are a lot of black men that are on meth and that are on pills. And they do that to a lot of young boys that they traffic and kidnap underground. I'm talking about little boys put their whole fist up in a little boy's rectum and tear their guts out. She didn't say that. She said the grandfather. So if anybody can tell me about King Von's grandfather, let me know. Was the grandfather also a gangbanger? And then the father, and then King Von was his three. I don't think she said creator. She said started their own gang, started a gang of their own. That's the way it looks like the person said. But anyway, if people can give me the information on the father and grandfather, send it to me so I can study in the names. He said a lot of men, including black men, is into fisting and drug addiction. A lot of, now I know why, I've seen black men that are very educated and homosexual but like to be gang banged and fisted. And I didn't even know that a lot of black gay men like to get fisted. I understand Sky wasn't asking about the father. I understand that. But I asked for the father's real name, and I asked about the father's father. If anybody knew the name of the father, the grandfather, and what did he do, then, well, somebody know. Somebody know. If the man lived on this earth and died, somebody know him. You just don't know who it is at this point, but somebody know him. Ain't nobody lived on this planet and died, and it's a complete mystery. It just might be a mystery to you. But somebody know they ass, just like the woman who gave birth to him know. So if they want me to know who they are, somebody will bring it to me. Okay. And a lot of these black men are very wealthy, very successful, and are very sick. And there are black men, a lot of black women would think they have, they don't want you. Them men is lost and turned out and got a asshole as big and wide as a goddamn baby watermelon. They don't get to the bathroom, just like a lot of these women's. Asshole wide as a goddamn grapefruit. If they don't clean their bowels out, be out in public gonna shit on themselves. Because a lot of people are so addicted to anal, and they say it feels so good to them that they can't stop it. They don't care if, no, because that would be the founder, and they say they're not sure. Nobody's verified that's really the grandfather, or that just might be his nickname. So see, I'm not going to run with those things until I have concrete proof of it. Don't know. Some people say yes and no. Till now, I'm not messy. You don't believe me? Look this up and ask medical personnel. If you take too many big long dicks in your butt, I don't care if it's a woman. See, I'm not speaking on a gay thing. This is not a gay thing. I'm talking about anorectal sex. That's not gay to me. It's an act that male and females like. It's these women's walking around here with these micro bikini style goddamn depend pampers on that been slimmed down and pressed down real thin to mimic some bikini draw, but they really is some depend diaper that got more of a sleek, sexy style to them, man. But they really, cause a lot of these women's have bowel problem because they get attached to dick and they hind and me love you long time. See, that's why I don't want it, Jesus. I don't want it. Because they said once you get a dick in your ass, you ain't going to want to pay. But don't fuck up and pass gas. Especially if you ain't got them cleaned your bowels off and had a good shit. Because your guts will bubble up and split. Now, you think I'm being messy? Ask a doctor now. Or look at it online, because I am not trying to be funny and talking about somebody's ass. And like I said, I'm not talking about men's. I'm just talking about asshole period. Fucking, you got to be gentle with them tissues, or you will have some booty issues. Now, that's just what you want to do. You know, I don't have any judgment on it. But you need to do that shit in a safe, healthy way. And don't have nobody just busting your guts open. Now, and lube that shit up and take your time with your dick and your hind. Or you're going to have to get some anal rectal surgery. Dick rushing up in there too big, too fast, and big and long and shit. Really tear you up. So, I'm just talking as an adult. And that's what the gay man told me. He said a lot of them have a lot of mental and emotional issues because they have bowed down and sold they soul like that. And women do too. They have gotten in power like that. A lot of them have mental problems and medical problems from doing all kind of strange shit to get money. The things to be in a boys club, the girl club, or the bisexual club. That's what you have to do. Okay? I'm not trying to be messy. I'm just keeping it real what the man told me, and I know it's true. Because I met a man who told me, a gay man, he had men to come see him. And they would have these sex sessions. He would dominate men. And he just started his whole energy change. He said, I love it. He said he started like with a lot of like a Crisco or lube. He started one finger at a time. Just take his time, 2 fingers at a time to gently open it up. Not to tear him up, make him bleed. And then his fist is up and they ass. And he said put his hand up there, his arm up there, or half the arm. He said, and it's such a spiritual experience for him. And he's stealing, vampiring on their energy through their asshole, the first chakra. And he said he pulled their power. And I saw men lining up to pay him to go in there. That you would think he do massage. You wouldn't know what else until he told me. But he also told me he was HIV positive. And he was taking meds, but he was also taking herbs. And he had sex with them boys in there. And, you know, I didn't say anything. I just looked. I said, okay. You know, I didn't pass judgment because I'm listening and I'm learning. A lot of people tell me things. There was a white man that was telling me this. And we talked for a while and talked about his mom and his childhood. He said, didn't nobody rape him or nothing like that, but he did have issues with his mother. And it was very intelligent and very spiritual. He said he did a lot of magic. And there was a sex magic ritual. He would take their energy like that and be stronger and more powerful for doing shit like that. And of course, I was standing there. I was like next door doing some work, like photography and stuff. And so I get to see them coming in and out. They were willingly coming in and out. They weren't children. They were like young men, grown men. And so that's, how a lot of these things, what I'm talking about, I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful to anybody and anybody's lifestyle. These are people that felt comfortable to tell me. And I respectfully listen. And he had a lot of tattoos and piercings and stuff. Okay. Let's see what else. Because I know it's getting a little late. You see what I'm saying? Even though what I'm telling you is, I'm not telling you the whole story. But what I'm telling you is, it's still really heavy, isn't it? I thought it wouldn't be much, but now that I'm reading, I'm getting into it. It's a lot of intense information that I'm really not breaking it all down, but I'm still introducing it to your mind. That I had a conversation with the Father and some other spirits that want to jump in. Okay, what they told me, here we go again. King Von, when I was talking to him, his father, he mentioned him and Nipsey Hussle. Because they're seeing this. And they saw some of it when they were here. Citibank. If y'all can find out anything about who owns Citibank, and is it Saudis? Or any Saudis in this. And he mentioned the Bush administration and Citibank and Saudis. Not the daddy. Y'all think not the daddy. Clinton and China. And then I'm wondering, was Bush making deal with China? The son, Bush. And Citibank and Saudis. And credit cards. That money also ties back into numbers and stock markets and bank and insurance companies, like I said, and those being the biggest and tallest buildings in downtown. They're funneling the money through Citibank. I'm not saying that's the only one, but that's the one they brought up. And it was during the Bush era with the Twin Towers. So if you all can research this. I'm not sure, Sly, I've said so much. Yes, it's not just the oil. It's tied to oil, but they said that money that they get through organized crime in the streets from different sources I mentioned go to finance oil and gas and wars and political wars and power and jail. And it goes where? Into fashion and to music and where? Prostitution and slave trafficking. Because they said to me when I let King Von see that picture of the baby mama with a Janae, that NBA young boy, he said that she's a high class model, call girl, and prostitute. Not prostitute, as they said down here, prostitute. The model, and with the other white girl that I've seen before, that's an industry prostitute and handler slash whore. She is just like Cat Stacks during the era of Gucci Mane. They pay them girls to go in there and fuck them different rappers and artists and tell one thing, tell one business, because they in there fucking and sucking and doing whatever they ask for and call a couple of friends to prostitute with them. Some of them they just do for free just to do it, but it's really not free because they're getting paid by the higher up to control the niggas and to spy on the niggas. And if a nigga talking about getting away or getting out the deal or getting distribution with another nigga, oh, that's a no-no now. And them girls laying there fucking and sucking, popping Molly and Coke and getting you whatever you want. Yeah, prostitute. That's what the old lady told me. The lady was out talking. See, that's a prostitute. I said, prostitute. God, Miss Allen, what you talking about? She talking about after that prostitute. To my mouth, a prostitute. Cause she be fucking every day with different men's. I said, oh, not men. Okay, men's. Thank you, Miss Allen. I did learn something. Yes, ma'am. Let it alone. Said this is a prostitute. Because they send her on different rappers with and then they be like, so freaky and free. That's why. Because you be thinking, oh, and then some of them marry them and keep it up on them. And eavesdrop on them and tap their phone and clone their phones and be all in their inbox and shit and go tell the elite what they doing and poison off they motherfucking ass. Oh my God. I just went in there on the toilet and Elvis was just dead. Okay. You know, he had got up after he got something to eat and he just dead. And then you always see it's a pretty lady or pretty young girl in there when the athlete is dead or artist is dead. Oh my God, we was just a few hours ago laughing and talking and fucking and sucking and he just fell over. Yep, because you had the timer, you had the little peel in your bracelet. Little bracelet with a little pop up on the top they can't see and put this shit down now. This is what King Von told me that they do. Nipsey told me that they do. And that girl there, that's their model, and with that other white girl she be with, that's them spies and they industry hoes that get rewarded. MK Ultra Sex Slave. That's what they're paid to do. That's their job. They're never going to be big stars, anything like that. They move around. They starring in the next porn. And the next Polish kielbasa sausage down they esophagus. That's what they starring in now. Because that's what they made for. That's what they sent around for. And niggas trust them. Because you laying up fucking and sucking their dick and looking in their eyes and putting them in a trick. See? Next thing something happen to them or you where they want them. It's on the news. They get their cut and get the fuck on to the next assignment now. So, he said that money too, with them insurance companies, banks, credit cards, or they send them children on that child trafficking, man. They have that through the models and child modeling agencies and movies and records and model deals, and they jam them up. And he mentioned the North Star. The North Star. Didn't y'all hear me tell y'all Nipsey Hussle mentioned Harriet Tubman and the North Star? But the way they told it to me, when Harriet Tubman come through Atlanta, Georgia, and all the other states she went through, moving through the Underground Railroad to help free blacks. This is, they done flipped this and control the north side of town. And look at some of the cars, like Cadillac got the North Star system. Track you wherever you at in the world, you got one of them cars with that chip. That same system is now used, the one that was used to free slave, that same North Star system is used to enslave. And you look up there and see the North Star and the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. A bigger one and a smaller one. Move underground Atlanta through the water system, tunnels. Get out of here through water, ports, plane, train, automobile. Overseas. He so much tied to oil. And the banks. So some of these people that have oil also rule the banks. And insurance policies and stuff. And that's how one of the biggest ways they finance it and keep it control, and music. Because look how they have it together. They're going to have a fashion show with what? Models of different sizes, different races, different ages and children. And then they're going to have what? Music. Then they have what? Drinking and alcohol. Clothes that you can get. And different sponsors. Creditors, debtors, banks. Do you see? It's very political. And then entertainers in it. They're going to be there around it. Fucky, sucky. And then modeling agencies. Tied to what? Music agencies. You see what I'm saying here? So this is what him and Nipsey's, the daddy, King Von Dad Nipsey Hussle's telling me. But they breaking it down, so y'all need to look at Citibank. That's one of the banks. I'm sure all of them involved, but look at Citibank. It says tied to overseas in Africa. It says get ready to be more bombings and war in Africa for distraction and more sacrifice. There's a lot of African children that's been used for human sacrifice and body parts and they blood and blood by product. Show me underground over there in Saudi Arabia and other African countries, blood just running. Black blood just running. Black boys, little boys. A whole sex trafficking ring and slave ring where they can't get out. White slavery. White girls over there that they can't find and shit. They done got them from over here. Using the bathroom all on them. Using the bathroom in their mouth. Said that when they get them out of here in Atlanta and go underground and through the water and in the tunnels, through the North Star, where ain't no police gonna go or think of those neighborhoods and areas. People in law enforcement protect them so they're not even looked at or it's blocked. And high up bankers and high up people that deal with bankers and stock market, this is what they do. He said a lot of them are drug addict to keep them going and pop pills, and a lot of them fuck each other. It's a boys club, and they get access to billions of dollars in stocks and bonds and trading. They don't want you to get in there, and these are secrets you don't know. And they have their own hit squad up there too. You get out of line, or you get out of order, or you secretly stealing some money, or they'll send them out of your ass, come out fucked up. Because they're giving you an exclusive world and access to it that regular people don't have access to. Internal cleaners. So we're talking about these new drugs coming out, new vaccination, new virus, and new wars in different parts of Africa, which would also be Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Ethiopia keep coming up. Sudan, Somalia, Israel tied to it. So Africa. When I say Africa, it's all those countries over there, and it's also tied to U.S. and invasion of some parts with the new administration and dealing with oil, which is going to cause a crash. They're literally pumping and dumping. Pumping certain stocks, dumping them because it's getting ready to be another crash. And then a reset and a flip of currency. That's what King Von, Nipsey Hussle, Daddy, was talking to me about now. They also mentioned that the fashion industry and overseas sex trafficking tied to drugs and opium, Hollywood and music. Mentioned Prometheus Rising, the Pegasus Project, a hawk with Horus and the falcon, the bird, the falcon, and Osiris. I looked back at King Von body today to see how that baby was doing. I saw him rising up in another body. When he rose up again, because he's still getting situated, moving around, still learning. Because a few days ago when it happened to him, he would go to sleep, he said, "I'll wake up, it's a dream. I'm still here, and I'm still here." And I said, "No, baby. No." He said, "Yeah, I go to sleep. I go to sleep, it's a dream, and I'm going to wake up and I'll be back here." And then he go to sleep. I'm back here. No, baby. It's just like when Nipsey told Kobe, "That ain't me, that's you. They caught you slipping." And Nipsey said, "Hey, I came to, this was the night before the Grammys." He said, "I came to LA and I brought Alexyss because I knew you were coming tomorrow." And he said, "That ain't me, that's you. I tried to warn you, Nipsey, leave them niggas alone." And he said, "Hey, Kobe, if you can see me, and if you can hear me, and if I can see you, And if I can hear you, your physical body's dead, you're over here with me. And King Von, even though he was a killer and very violent and a gangbanger, parts of him are still a baby. And he was asking for his mother, and I saw Bali wanted his mama to just hold him and love him. And I saw the coldness, the father was gone. I said, no, baby. You're not dreaming. If I can see you, King Von, and I can hear you, and you can see me, King Von, in Atlanta, and you can hear me, baby, you're not sleeping, you're not dreaming, you're here with me. I'm sorry, baby. How can I help you? And Nipsey was standing beside him. So I help you in any way I can, but I cannot wake you up from this dream. It's not a dream. And then I saw him shifting, and I saw the fish head taking the hook out of his mouth in the morgue, so I know they had him jammed. It was a Luciferian agenda. And I looked at him last night, and I saw him arched his back. I said, what is that? When he arched his back, there was a crow, there was a raven, there was a hawk, there was, what is it? Yes, the hawk, and there was the falcon. And I said, that would be Osiris. So Osiris and Ptah. And I said, but why does I see the hawk and the falcon and the iris? What's going on? You're rising, that's what I saw with Nipsey. And he showed me space. Space, again, with the starships, outer space, NASA, and the Starlink. Linking it up, hooking it up. And then I look on my Facebook, look at the news. Tonight, they sent up another spaceship up there. What they call that thing is two spaceships. With a private company who's dealing with Starlink or X. And one of them ships they sent up there called the Dragon. Is it? Correct me. Because when he sent me up, I saw him flying up. Black, like that, which means it's a secret, a darkness. I didn't want everybody to know. Dealing with Prometheus, rising and alien invasion, a rising invasion war on the moon and the planets NASA, Nibiru, and explosions underground and flooding on purpose, floods to cover up their tracks and tunnels, and dealing with wars and spacecrafts hovering over Earth. We are dealing with another form of Genesis, of rewriting Genesis in the stars with NASA and alternative states of reality. Hooking people to the Starlink and the hive mind with that computer mapping, putting it in the brain. What they call that up there that went up there tonight. Because I know one part of it, if y'all seen that ship I'm talking about with NASA going up in space tonight. Was it from Florida? I know one of them was called the Dragon. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That just went up in space, 2 crafts. Trying to see where I got it wrote here. The Dragon capsule rocket tonight. And remember, I used to always mention Nipsey, NASA, and Navy. And the Dragon capsule also remind me of his name, Davon Daquan. And I also mentioned London bridges falling down, which also deals with the London banking and finance and the stock market, which everything controlled by London and the Queen. It's falling down. Gold is falling down. And Follow the Yellow Brick Road, which is that play. We're off to see the Wizard of Oz, which will be controlling stocks and bonds in the stock market. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. The streets are paved with illusion and gold. Watch the stock. Watch the White Rabbit. Let's look and see what happens. Banking, finance, and stock market. Certain things crashing. The system turning over. Money being devalued and shifted. Currency destroyed. With the North Star technology. And still this underground that I keep seeing here, controlled by military, outer space, North Star technology, and the sex trafficking. It has not stopped. The adrenochrome has not stopped. The blood, the organs, and the blood products in the plasma has not stopped. The consumption has not stopped. It's just finding other ways to shift it. And Congress. Because I think if I have to watch it, correct me if I'm wrong, the Congress has become more Republican and the president is Democrat. Bloods and Crips. Red and blue. We cannot put our trust in this system. It's not for us and by us. We're in the system. And we're dealing with from the underground tombs of Atlantis, Egypt, and the Emerald City arising. And there are going to be explosions underwater. Because there are cities underwater. I think what's said about... Dang. That's about it. I'm going to cover because it's late and I have to stop staying up so late all the time. What? Let me see. Underground, underwater military bases. And if you notice about that, the SpaceX Falcon, it has a 3-hour built-in hold with the Dragon capsule attached to it. I think this is the SpaceX Falcon. SpaceX Falcon 9, which we know is upside down 6. So you see the 3s and 6s in there. They're doing something and getting ready to set up these bases and perfect and critique the bases. As well as Skylink, which deals with Elon Musk and hooking that shit in your head and hooking it to a cloud and a computer. I should say. So in the country, ANL. Okay. So people, and they like to keep these people because not only are they using people for adrenochrome and blood, yeah, and they do a lot of organs up there in Chicago too. They're using it for blood and blood products. They use the bone, the nerves, the cornea, and the guts for stringing and binding and making certain glues, shoes for the skin. Blood products, plasma. They like certain people's eyes, the oracle and key maker eyes, like they did in the Matrix. Certain bloodlines that are seers. They mentioned too the Lord of the Rings, just like Maldor, the movie, the eye. The one eye, the eye of the beast, the left eye. That's the one who's ruling right now, coming up in power. The king of the earth. He loves aborted fetuses. And he also, the symbol of him is the Burger King. So I don't know if they also meant them burger stuff ground in there we don't know about. Said they're bought, sold, and traded, these parts, on the stock market, and tagged in numbers, tickets on clothes to track you, and number systems of beast. 666 system lockdown. They're going to use these wars and killing these people and killing the rap artists to create a lockdown, to justify a lockdown, a computerized lockdown. Foods and vaccines and things with, when you're in their system, you won't be able to stop them from giving it to you. You're going to be forced, inoculated with RoboCop type police, Android police. It's starting now, you just don't see it. Pump and dumping the stocks to move it there because they know what's happening and they want to shift to go to the other side. They're like an ejaculation and pull out of the market to give birth to the mutant, to destroy the ticker tape paper currency, and give birth to the beast, the cashless society mark of the beast concentration camp, transhumanism to destroy the creation of God, to evolve into the creation of man, a soulless creature rising from the water, a Hitler agenda, a Dr. Mengele agenda. So I want to give you that. I don't have to finish it. You see why I do their stuff and I get attached? Because they're so interesting to me. They're so fascinating to me. Yes, 319. So I don't want to keep being on here. I want to just kind of introduce that to you instead of just waiting days to get all the details, because it would be much longer. I thought they were so fascinating. And this is such a tragedy. And then we will see more. As the demon said, this curse has been released. Like I told you, it was being released in February, Super Bowl, February 3rd, 2019. You see it's over a year later. We're moving into 2021. And we're still seeing this manifesting. Unfortunately. We're in a very, very terrible time. And there will be a lot of loss. But there will be a lot of people saved. But you must know, you must act with wisdom. You must get educated. And you must protect yourself. Well, how do you think I feel? You said he has strong energy. I'm dealing with two Leos over here. King Nipsey Hussle is very strong because he's moving around, helping people and helping himself. And other people come to him. And King Von is very strong. And the same thing happened to them. They jump up. As soon as they're shot like that by their friends and associates, they jump up quickly after the body is dying, and it dies. And then they immediately are so smart and so evolved, they know what to do. And they go to someone. All people don't do that. A lot of them are stuck and lost, and they're really dead. They're dead physically, they're dead mentally and emotionally. They see nothing, they hear nothing, they speak nothing for years. He goes. I don't know how he know. He must have known who Nipsey Hussle was. He had to know. He goes to Nipsey. And Nipsey, he calls my name, and take me to Alexyss. I want to talk to Alexyss. It was so funny. Was it last night, the night before? I'm trying to clean up. I was making a Nipsey plate. If you can see that, he's got his fresh food right there. And he has the white chocolate Nestle for King Von. And I had asked him, he came here, would you want a good meal? Want a southern meal, cornbread? No, I don't want that. I want some candy. I want some sweets. So I got my friend to get him all this sweet stuff and Halloween stuff. And I opened it. It's up there open so they can get the essence of it. He whispers. He says, I want some food now. And I said, you want some food? I didn't cook extra stuff because you said, oh, no, I don't want that. I want some junk food and I want some candy. And he goes, he nudges Nipsey. He's like, hey, man. Hey, girl. And I'm washing dishes like I don't see this. It's the most spirits talking about me in my own goddamn house behind my fucking back. God, won't you tell her that you hungry because you know, or tell her to give me something to eat because you know if you tell her that you hungry and you won't. He told me, she already fixed my plate, cuz. And he was laughing like he just playing with her. No, tell her to give me something and put it on there. And so I'm looking at, kept washing dishes like I am. Tell her she'll do it if you tell her put some extra on there. And get so I said, okay. And I said, I'm going to put you some extra candy. I ain't never had the candy. But when I called, try not to eat it, concerned about my teeth and stuff. When I ate this shit, I liked this shit. I said, nigga, you going to split this and give me some now. Now, you can have a majority of it, but let me have 2 little pieces of it. Because, you know, you can break it up in little bitty individual bars. And he didn't care. He said, you can have some. And I put him a plate and put the candy on the side. I said, okay, now you'll know the next time I offer you something. I don't eat. I done got a little hungry now, cuz. Can you tell him? Start rubbing his stomach. Can I? So I got their food. He's sweet to me. And they can be mischievous, little tricky when they don't know you. They'll test you and play little mind game stuff. But so far, I haven't had a problem out. They eat, then they go. They go on their little fact-finding missions. And they get educated. And I'm so glad the daddy has popped up. And the daddy, whoa, has a mind. A brilliant mind. And I've enjoyed his company so much. He's okay. Shit. Well, sometimes it's okay. It's not really unhealthy if that's not your whole meal every day. Well, see, what you all have to understand is, because I've seen it before, no autopsy is pretty. And what I'm thinking too, they probably were not going to give him a pretty stitch and stitch it perfectly closed. Why? Because he had not been to embalming. When it goes embalming, they're going to rip all that out because they got to go in and find the separate the artery and the vein. They need to put the embalming fluid in the body. So if they stitch that nicely, I mean, and somebody can correct me. If anybody deal with funeral directing, a mortician, correct me, and I will take it back. But I'm almost 90%, 95% sure of this. They stitch him up doing an autopsy, really neat, close, tight stitches. They're going to send him to the morgue if he wasn't embalmed. Now, if he was embalmed, that was disgusting. But if he was not embalmed, they made it big because they're going to have to go right back in and take all of that apart, open him up, and then clean him out, wash him, and do the embalming. And then stitch him neatly back together. Again, from what I'm about to say here, for anybody, if I'm wrong, since I did not get to go, that was my dream, to go to mortuary school here and graduate, and I saw that they don't like women. If you're a woman and you see somebody in Atlanta embalmed, that's either because they're in a family or they know somebody got them in. It's a very difficult, men-driven, very chauvinistic business, and they didn't want me in there. Especially when they knew who I was. I thought everybody was in there because of my reason, and they weren't. And they thought I was a weirdo, like, get her out of here. What the times I did see it, they're not going to go into a body and neatly cut the heart out and put it back and restitch it. Take the kidneys out. It's too much. It would take too long, and it's too tedious. What they're going to do is, it's like a machine. From what I saw, unless it was a long time ago, so it's probably maybe more advanced now or quicker. It's like they go down in the body like a block and they shake a big chunk out, almost like a cookie cutter. And they're going to lift all the organs up and out. They do that to everybody. Real quick, take everything out. Or I don't know if they're going to take, depending on the client or what happened to the person, they're going to dissect them. They do the Y. Zip, zip, and zip like a zipper. They do that to everybody. It depends on who it is and how messy it can get. They don't really care and they just cut them any kind of way. But it's a basic Y incision. Zip, zip, zip. I've seen it. Open you. And if they're not going to do that, because it takes too much time. They're not going to go piece by piece. You can't see I'm sorry. Ask someone that's in the business. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, they'll examine certain parts of you, but they're going to end up taking everything out depending on how you died. Or if it was a gunshot, anything gunshot related, they're going to do an autopsy to see what was cause of death, or which one was the cause of death, or which bullet, whatever, which entry, extra point. They have to do it. They're going to cut everything on. They're going to peel the scalp back. If they're going to do a full autopsy, it will include a cranial where they peel the face down, cut back here, peel it off, drill the bone open, pull the brain out, weigh it, examine it, take pieces of it. That's what I saw. But again, talk to someone who's actually been licensed, and then there, ask them about what I'm saying. They dissect everything, and they're not going to be able to take your heart, your arteries, your lungs, your veins, and put them back like they found them. It's impossible. They're not going to be able to do it once they cut them open. They can't put them back together. But they're going to have some ways where there's a connection with the veins. Like having the arteries and veins. Don't do it. Don't butcher them. Be too barbaric so you can embalm the body. I've seen it. This is not what I heard. And I've seen bodies where a complete autopsy, the brain's gone, chest organs, abdominal pelvic cavities. It's just cavities, like 2 holes. Holes in the chest, holes in the abdominal pelvic cavity. It's all gone. And they have a biohazard bag with the internal organs sitting inside of the abdominal pelvic cavity. Now, this is something I am not going to say is alleged, that I saw in the spirit, okay? I'm not worried about being sued for this, because I saw it. Now, anybody in that industry that can come forward and say that I'm a liar, come forward and say I'm a liar. They just don't want to tell you, because it's too heartbreaking to know that procedure and to know that's happening to one of your loved ones. And then the guts, I can tell you right now, I'll give you the name of it. It's called a trocar needle. Ask them so they can say I'm a liar. This is not alleged. I'm not offering a disclaimer. It's a trocar needle. It looks like a long metal needle, similar to when they do the lipo on somebody, but it's bigger and longer. They do is stab the person in the guts. Stab around, just stick around. Why? Because by nature, the body will swell and gases will produce, and the body will start to decompose. You can't put the embalming and put the body up there swollen like that, and it'll burst and rot all over. So they have to get the waste. Then they suck the waste out of the intestines, the water, the food, the gas, because the body will smell and it will decompose faster. So they have to do that shit. Why do you think when I told you Nipsey and Whitney Houston said they hated the embalming procedure? Because it's very traumatizing. Even though the body's physically dead, the person and aspects of them are still in it and around it. Also, Kimberly, you know that I'm not lying. Please tell these people I'm not lying. Because it's something I don't want done, but I know this is what happens. Even if you get cremated. Some people will still get embalmed so the family can tell them goodbye. Then cremate them. So they have to go through that trauma. Trauma of being shot and murdered. And then trauma of again butchered again and again. You're shot and you're murdered and you're butchered. Then you're autopsied, radically butchered again. Then a third time radically cleaned out and butchered again with a fucking embalming. X, am I lying? I'm not shaking, batting, trembling, backing down on what the fuck I just said. It was traumatizing to me because I saw it. And I saw the look on King Von's face. That baby went through hell. Anybody goes through hell that happens to. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Sky. Yes. And if you really have a good embalmer, the person will look like they're sleeping. Because based on the person's complexion, there are different chemical mixtures that if you know what you're doing and you blend them correctly, the person won't be too dark or pale or ashen-like. The skin will look alive and beautiful, just like they're taking a nap, baby. And beat that face. Have a right artist coming there, do their hair, wig, whatever, beat that face to the gods, and have that body snatched. Because the right chemical composition, disinfectants, and water removal of the shit. I seen people bloated up from cancer and swole up, and when they went in there and cut them and took the fluids out and shit, the bitch body was snatched. But that was somebody, this was an old head that I knew about 60 years old. They had been doing it for years. And I seen people blown up and they was leaking in the casket and stinking. And they didn't want to tell the parents because they wouldn't understand what it was anyway. And they had to go back and re-embalm because they did a quick sloppy job to get the money. The more bodies, the more money. That's right. If she looked like she was asleep, that somebody know what they doing with the embalming and the chemistry. And to get her color and shit like she laying there asleep. Still breathing. Yeah. There's a certain way you got to do their hair. Because some people hair will come out. See. Some won't. It depends on what you know what you're doing and how to do their hair and what their condition was. Or if they had an illness or decomposing or eating, some eat up their flesh and their body. Like a cancer some. See. Alright then. I'm going to go. Because I'm tired. And I'll try to get the rest of this out because they like to talk. And the daddy is cool and smooth as a motherfucker. I like the daddy. I like his mind. And he up on his son. He wasn't physically in life, but I'm glad he up on his son. He just doing this and holding him up under, got his hand up. You know how you lock somebody's head in your hand like that and elbow him and be boxing, doing a lot of boxing, fighting with him, doing a lot of boy and daddy stuff. But he's heartbroken that they meet like this. And he was like, a little, I said, me and the daddy gonna have a problem. Like, he didn't really understand at first. And he's like, wait, what you said? What I said? Oh, Lord. Okay, look, we are intermediary. We're intercessors, daddy. And he saw me and Nipsey like, who is this nigga around my... He's like, no, wait. And he showed, Nipsey Hussle showed him who he was. And he said, he said, no, I'm not going to bother him. I ain't gay. No. I'm watching him. He said, this is what happened to me. And he showed him his life. Then he showed him who I was. Then the daddy chill. So the four of us be together. And he likes Nipsey around his son. Ain't gonna hurt him. He's like a teacher, another big homie. And then, of course, the real big homie is the daddy. But it's still a thing he need to move around and know and figure out, too. Oh, I just felt him in here. Yeah, he not mad at me now. I had to straighten that. Not straighten, I had to get on camera and straighten it. That went him. Begging his son as a junk. He said, what? I said, I don't know you all. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I said, I will get on camera and straighten it, daddy. Got that? All right, Pops. All right, Sil. So they all right. He's smiling. King Von is smiling when I see him around his dad. And I see the granddaddy. But like I said, the dad and the granddaddy got a little riff here. So I don't know, maybe somebody can tell me what the King Von daddy and the granddaddy was like. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the donations. If you want me to continue to do what I do and bring these readings public, please continue to donate in Cash App or PayPal, because if not, I can't continue to do this. I got other things I got to work on, and I got to go. It's only fair. I love you all. Excuse me. Thank you for tuning in for this edition of AKT Celebrity Reads, and I'm glad you like the outfits, the new look in the hat, and the scarves, and I'll do more of it. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Good night.